I've talked to a lot of people and we always are stressing hydration, excuse me, with electrolytes, not just to, I guess people think that cars just run on gasoline. Is what I kind of always go back to. You're drinking water, but that's just like having a glass of water is like putting just gasoline in your car. It takes more fluids than that for a car to run. And so, what would you say as far as proper hydration, just the importance of that, just to see how the body truly responds because the body has what it needs essentially?
Well, the body's approximately 42% water, and we're dealing with light transfer through the skin. And light transfers through moist skin better than it does through dry skin. Um, the skin has about 7 layers to it, and the top layer is composed usually of dead cells, which impairs the transmission of light. So anything that's going to keep that skin nice and moist in terms of adequate hydration is going to make the therapy more successful. Most of the people who claim that they're don't feel that they're getting the results probably are just not using this patch correctly. You know, um, with any type of light therapy, the results increase up to a certain point, and then the results start decreasing. It's not a straight line. So the 12-hour on and 12-hour off recommendation is designed to allow the body a chance to rest and regenerate. And if you go past a certain exposure to different types of light, you're not getting an increased benefit. It may actually be a decreased benefit. So wearing the patch for just 12 hours out of the day is correct and very, very beneficial. And the same thing can be said with hydration.
Very good. Awesome. All right, Dr. Don, any last words you'd want to
Yes,
say?
I'd like to comment on that, what you're talking about right there. I think of the patches as a very powerful extra tool in your tool belt, another tool in your tool belt. I've written many books on longevity, and they're all based on the 10 keys that I teach, and made a little song about learn to relax, get to bed on time, and do your exercise, breathe fresh air when the sun's out there, and eat like this little rhyme fruits and vegetables, whole grains, white if you choose meat, drink what you're mostly made of, water makes your health complete. These are 10 pillars of your health. They're not the only things, but they're all extremely important. And now we have another tool that literally enhances all of those things, and all of those things enhance the function of the patch. In other words, drink what you're mostly made of, water. I'm constantly trying to get people to drink half of their weight in pounds in ounces of water, which is difficult to do. But if you're dehydrated, patches won't work as well. They still work. But if you're hydrated, they'll work even better. And if you're dehydrated, you have an even greater need for the patches or exercise. It's a pillar of health, of course. But if you're sedentary and you don't exercise, it takes about 24 hours to move the immune fluids through your body. If you just walk 30 minutes 5 days a week, you move those same immune fluids 3 to 5 times through your body, 3 to 5 times healthier. Now, patches will work if you're not an exerciser, but they work even better if you are. But if you're not, you need them even more. So all of these simple pillars of health are still extremely important, but now we've got another tool that's a booster tool that synergizes with all of these things. And it's why I'm so excited about sharing this with everyone. It's truly life-changing.
That's so good. So good. Rachel, anything you want to add there?
Thank you. I do. I want to add to the hydration part as well, because this is something that I only recently learned in the last few years. And while drinking is part of hydration, and we focus on that hydration within the body, actually cellular hydration comes from the water that we make, which comes from our mitochondria. But the hydration aspect for these patches to work ties into the fact that the way light travels in the body and communicates, aside from yes, there's biochemical communication through hormones and neurotransmitters, there's electrical impulses, that's another means of communication, but light within the body, really at light speed, is the primary means of communication. and it actually travels through the water network in the body. And that water network is primarily within all of the fascial network, which again, not something that I was taught in medical school. I spent my career in surgeries watching surgeons just brush aside the connective tissue and all the fascia, right? It wasn't important, but it is so vitally important. And it's important for communication, because communication breakdown is when disease happens. Communication between cells, between organ systems is how every part of the body knows what's going on, and then it can function optimally. It can give us what's called coherence, right? Harmony. And so the water part, we talk about adding electrolytes, and the electrolytes are also very important, and most people are deficient. And I do know that most medical doctors that I was around did not realize how deficient most people are in magnesium and potassium. And a lot of that has to do with allowing our cells to hold a negative charge. And that is really, again, key. The hydration, those electrolytes, which help hold the charge and hold the water in the body, and is just so very